Hello, everybody. Here I have my 1985 Audi Quattro 4000S. It is a JT 10 valve, 5-cylinder car. I picked this up in Boulder City. It's been a desert car all of its life, as far as I'm aware. Interior in it's pretty good. Missing a couple things here and there, little things like the radio. Someone definitely put some miles in this car. Got to enjoy it. But as far as the rest of the interior, it is all here. Some of the cosmetics need to be cleaned up, but I have different plans for the inside of this car. I really love that I got the head seats that are centered out too. So again, we'll see what happens with that. Clothes is nice. Moving on. Where I'm at currently with the car, the motor's been pulled out, completely put back in. Everything's been gone through the entire fuel system. I've cleaned out, all the fuel lines, and I made sure that all of the vacuum lines are back where they need to be, coolant lines, all of the sensors, any wire repairs that have needed to be made. I had to definitely replace the coolant bottle that had holes in it. But I've addressed pretty much everything under the hood and in the front of this car. So as you get, further in this video, I kind of break down, some of the things that I came across while taking apart and getting this car to where it's at right now. Wheels on it look pretty good. I did have to fix what was going on with the adapters to get the wheels to sit right on the car. But man, it this is a cool looking car. I can't wait to hear it run and drive. Really neat feature. It does say Quattro in the heating element inside the glass. So I picked this car up about 5 years ago. I've had it and I've been picking at it ever since I've gotten it. I really took my time taking things apart, so that way I was able to salvage all of the specialty parts and pieces that keep this car together. It was pretty rough when I got it. There had been rats in it, unfortunately, but I was able to really clean all that out of the car. I mean, I really went through it. I'd take the entire front end apart so I can access getting into certain areas of the front end so I can work on it. That was really fun. Definitely the water pump was the reason why it slapped some valves out of it. The shaft on the water pump actually was so worn out that it completely lost tension and it slapped the valves out of it. But I went through and I took this thing apart and I really, made sure that I had something that was worth spending some time on. I sent the head off. I had it rebuilt, machined, and all that stuff. I took the lower end out of the car, unfortunately, because I tried to put the idler pulley for the timing belt back on it, but the threads inside the oil pump housing was totally gone. So I had to pull the motor out. So when I had it out, I took the opportunity to go through everything and, make sure that it was all good before it went back into the car and before proceeding to try to go ahead and get this thing to fire up and run. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video so far and this Audi project, and let me know if you like it or if you don't.
So finally, we're getting to drain the fuel lines out. I got the gas tank out of it, all of the old gas, replaced the fuel pump, accumulator, filters. Again, we're cleaning out the lines. So everything's working great on this. I mean, aside from having to go in and do the brakes, make sure all the steering, suspension, everything is stout on this, this should be a really cool car. So I'm excited to start it up and get it to run. Right now, again, just going through the essentials. So once all that stuff is good, we'll go ahead and we can run it. So. So right now we're working on putting all of the fuel delivery stuff back together on the 85 Quattro. Luckily the car came with an extra intake boot when I bought it, so I'm gonna try to have the secondary one I have that's torn in some places, maybe 3D printed. I think this 5-cylinder car is really neat. Audi seems to be pretty proud of it. I know that they're celebrating 45 years for their 5-cylinder cars. I've never heard this thing run, so I'm pretty excited to be able to do that, check it out, and see what everything's about. But in focusing on the fuel delivery stuff, I had this entire unit sent off, cleaned, gone through, making sure that everything can get dialed in as much as it could before getting shipped back to me. There was one sensor that did not pass their test, and a fuel pressure regulator did not pass their test. So I have to replace both of those things. The fuel pressure regulator has actually become difficult to find, so nobody has it. So I'm gonna figure making something of my own so that way we can run this car. So stay tuned. All right, everybody. Well, we finally got the fuel injection lines figured out to where they need to correspond on the engine per their injector, right? Cold start valve, all that good stuff. Unfortunately, like I had said in the last video, I'm not able to get the fuel pressure regulator. I have the old one that I sent off, and again, it came back and it tested bad. So I've got the original lines and everything set up to what I need to try to replicate. This fuel pressure regulator is supposed to make between 75 and 80 or 81 PSI for this CIS injection system. So I should be able to take these down along with the fittings and everything so I can get the proper pieces to pretty much just make one of these myself. Once I do that, that should be the last piece of the puzzle. I'll be able to flow all the fuel correctly, install some spark plug wires, put a battery in it, some gas, and see if we can't run it. Again, I've never heard this, so it should be interesting. So yeah, let's check it out.